Have you ever wondered why certain women seem to carry an untouchable magnetism, a quiet power that both attracts and intimidates the men around them? These are not the women who bend themselves into pleasing shapes, who apologize for taking up space, or who define their worth through masculine approval. These are the women who have awakened to a profound psychological truth that Simone de Beauvoir illuminated decades ago. They refuse to be the other. In the depths of human consciousness, there exists. Have you ever wondered why certain women seem to carry an untouchable magnetism, a quiet power that both attracts and intimidates the men around them? These are not the women who bend themselves into pleasing shapes, who apologize for taking up space, or who define their worth through masculine approval. These are the women who have awakened to a profound psychological truth that Simone de Beauvoir illuminated decades ago. They refuse to be the other. In the depths of human consciousness, there exists a fundamental dynamic that governs how we see ourselves in relation to others. For centuries, women have been conditioned to exist as satellites orbiting the masculine sun, deriving their light and meaning from external validation. But when a woman breaks free from this unconscious pattern, something extraordinary happens in the collective psyche. She becomes what Jung would call individuated, complete unto herself, no longer fragmented by the need to be completed by another. The first truth about women who refuse to be the other lies in their relationship with their own shadow. While most women spend their lives projecting their power onto men, these awakened women have done the difficult work of reclaiming their disowned aspects. They have looked into the mirror of their own darkness and said, "This too is mine." They no longer need a man to carry their strength, their anger, their ambition, or their sexuality. They have integrated these aspects into their conscious personality, becoming psychologically whole. This integration creates a profound shift in their energy field. Men, who have been unconsciously programmed to seek women who need them, suddenly find themselves in the presence of someone who doesn't require their rescue, their validation, or their definition. The masculine psyche, which has long operated from the archetypal role of the savior or the definer, encounters something it cannot categorize or control. This woman is not waiting to be chosen, she is choosing. The second truth reveals itself in how these women relate to desire itself. They have transcended what Beauvoir called the trap of imminence, that psychological prison where women mistake being desired for being powerful. Most women exist in a state of reactive femininity, constantly adjusting their behavior based on masculine feedback. They live in the question, "Am I enough?" But the woman who refuses to be the other has shifted into active femininity. She asks instead, "Is this aligned with who I am becoming?" This shift from reactive to active creates a magnetic paradox. The less she needs masculine attention, the more powerfully she attracts it. But here lies the crucial difference. She no longer derives her sense of self from this attention. She observes it with the detached awareness of someone who has found her center. Men sense this immediately. They recognize, perhaps for the first time, a woman who is not performing femininity for their benefit, but embodying it from her own authentic core. The third truth cuts even deeper into the psychological substrate of human relationships. These women have discovered what the Stoics understood about power. True strength comes not from controlling others, but from being uncontrollable by others. Marcus Aurelius wrote that we suffer more in imagination than reality, and these women have applied this wisdom to their romantic lives. They no longer create elaborate mental narratives about what a man's behavior means about their worth. They see clearly, without the distortion of desperate hope or fearful projection. This clarity becomes their superpower. While other women are lost in the maze of interpretation, what did he mean when he said this? Why hasn't he called? How can I make him want me more? She remains centered in her own reality. She responds to what is, not to what she wishes were true. This groundedness in reality, this refusal to live in the fantasy of what could be, creates an almost mystical presence. She becomes like water, flowing around obstacles rather than crashing against them, powerful in her adaptability, yet uncompromising in her essential nature.